I think it's an interesting comparison to see how this tournament's being treated relative to US Open Cup because it's also much easier to manage US Open Cup because it's a game every few weeks instead of 3 games in 7 days or whatever your math works out to, right? So this isn't me saying like, oh, Leagues Cup has to go because nobody cares about it anymore, or US Open Cup needs to stay away because nobody cares about it anymore. But I think both, and you were making a good point to this, both provide legitimate value to the soccer landscape in America and MLS as a whole. But the more Leagues Cup gets treated like US Open Cup, the more validity that its critics have in saying that it's an unnecessary money grab tournament and they would rather, play in US Open Cup because of whatever, take all this effort you've put into Leagues Cup, put it into US Open Cup and see what happens. And they'd have a solid leg on to stand on. Blah, blah, blah. They'd have a solid leg to stand on, in my opinion. And, it's and by the way, they always have had a relatively solid one, but the more Leagues Cup kicks on, the more strong that leg gets, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I agree.